What's good, everybody? It's your boy Flock, and we got another episode of the GI5. This time, we are doing the most OP video game characters of our own personal opinion. Before we get into it, I'm gonna go around the horn, let you know who's in this with me. Ace of all trades, say what up to the people.
What's good, everybody?
Blvck, say what up to the people.
Oh, hi.
TBH, TBH, say what up to the people.
North Korea #1.
And I think I'm the only person that can get this dude out of what's the word we looking for? Out of
hibernation.
Yeah, out of hibernation. Siggy Guns, say what up to the people.
What up, what up?
Alright, y'all know how we do it, man. We start from 5, go around the horn, then we go from 4, 3, 2, 1, get right to the point, talk about why we think this is what it is, and then, you know, after the fact, man, y'all can put it in the comment section. Be sure to like these videos, man. Share them, all that good old shit, man. And please make your suggestions for the next videos. Give us some good shit, though, y'all. Y'all been kind of slacking the last couple episodes on this one, too. So, we'll start with number 5. Who want to take the helm? Who want to start first?
I do.
There we go, Black. You can start from number 5. Number 5 most OP character.
All right, for me, man, I made a video about this guy. I hate him. I got to say Bastion from Overwatch, because all he has to do to get play of the game is left click. Like, that's it. Like, there's nothing else. Like, he just left clicks.
You know you're leaving yourself open to all the Overwatch tryhards are going to be like,
Get
well,
good,
all
nerd.
you need to do is play
Get a
Genji,
Genji.
or Pharaoh to
Yeah.
counter him. Like,
Good, nerd.
We've all seen this man just left click on the payload for play of the game or left click in a corner and do nothing. Man, fuck that nigga. I hate Bastion.
All right. Ace, what's your number 4?
No, 5.
Number 5. My bad.
I got you. My number 5 is actually a gaming character from the Backyard Sports series. It's a kid named Pablo Sanchez. Now, if you guys are familiar with it, it's Backyard Sports. So it used like the kid version of like the NFL, the MLB, the NHL, and they put it more like a kid version. But they had it.
I think everybody knows.
Yeah, it's on PC. It's on all the systems that are currently out. But Pablo Sanchez was one of those characters that were OP. Like, this kid can literally do everything. It didn't matter. Short little Hispanic kid that literally was the fastest usually in the game, faster than the pros. If it was football, he could do whatever he needed to do. If it was baseball, he was hitting sluggers like he was hitting sluggers out of the park. It was ridiculous. So that would probably be my 5th choice.
Let me get this straight. You're upset that a Dominican was good at baseball?
No, you do realize that that's what they
you
do.
said
right?
you said he could do anything.
No,
He
I
did it
actually said-
legally.
I actually said anything, so I wasn't just talking about him in backyard baseball. I was actually saying more in football. The fact that he was able to do the things he was able to do in backyard football in general made him OP as fuck, and everybody put him on their team.
You know us Hispanics can't play football.
Okay.
and you forgot that Pablo got his own theme music too. I'm just saying. So that's how good he was in the game.
Yeah, that's true. He did have his own theme music. True.
All right, TBH, what's your number 5?
My number 5 goes to Iron Man and Cable from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. If you ever played that, it's the most unbalanced fighter of all time. It's one of the best fighters, but it's also one of the most unbalanced. Just because all they would do was use their little laser beam moves. It was like quarter circle X or quarter circle A. It was really easy to do, and they would just range you into the corner, and they could spam the fuck out of it, and you could block it, and they would drain all your health. And I mean, like, I played it a lot, so it got to the point where eventually you could jump over it and try to get to them and try to box them in and rush them down. But every once in a while, it'd be that game where they trap you in the corner, and that shit was just OP and ridiculous. And they never did anything to address the balance of Cable and Iron Man being just ridiculously OP.
Cool. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
I didn't expect anybody to put that one in there except, well, nobody. Hold on. Siggy.
No one's gonna have mine either. Mine was Blinky, the red ghost from Pac-Man. See, I'm an old school gamer. He was the most OP character in video game history, at least number 5 for me. Because that ghost, you can't trick him. See, all the other ghosts, you could go up
Is
down
this a
real
fact?
quick. Yes,
Mhm.
it's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
You could go up, down. That ghost.
He's gonna be on you.
they'll
So
move.
now I gotta test this. Like,
Yeah, the other ones, yeah, the
The
other
red
ones are less
ghost
intelligent.
will-
Yeah, the red one is the
The
smartest
red one, will get
he was
you.
the quickest.
He was the fastest too.
Yeah, he
you,
was the
you
quickest.
can't outrun him. Yeah, you're screwed. If you turn the wrong corner, the red one's gonna get you every single time, and you won't get tricked.
I just
I hate
learned
it.
something. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that, but that makes sense now that I think about it.
That
That
was
was
a
a
good
good
one. That was
90% of the time you get killed, you're gonna get killed by the red ghost.
Yeah,
Yep.
and now I think about it. Yep. That,
Cause he
that
trap,
makes sense.
he lets you, he waits for you to make waits for you to make a mistake, and then it traps you.
Yep.
All right, so all right, we can go to my number 5. My number 5 is Eddie Gordo from the Tekken series. Yeah,
I was gonna put him, but I was like,
I-
but go ahead, explain your reason. I want to hear your reason.
man.
Right,
I mean, it's
right.
simple, man. I don't really got to do too much explaining other than the fact that you could spam that shit, man, and be upside down. He was harder
X
to hit.
circle, X
Yeah,
circle,
he was harder to hit, and then you could just basically button mash and win a fight. And you didn't really have to be super
I
skilled.
put
But
him-
if you were super skilled, you were definitely a problem with it.
I left him off the list because I put him in the same boat as Bastion. I don't think him and Eddie and Bastion are OP. I think they're just annoying. It's a case of get good, like because if you knew how to beat it, because Eddie, because I agree with you. If there was a good Eddie, then yeah, you're right. But let's be real here. 99% of Eddies were not good. They were button mashers that didn't know how to play Tekken.
Yeah, but that's what made him. That's actually what made him OP because
PBK.
he had a harder hitbox because when he went upside down, it was harder to hit him. And if you tried to go low on him, first thing he would do, he would just flip over and drop that leg on you. So yeah, he was definitely
feel that.
he was definitely a problem, yo. Like that Eddie Gordo ruined friendships, man.
Yeah.
Eddie Gordo ruined friendships, man. Like, at least at my house it did.
Nah, I feel you.
At my house it was some furniture moving and controllers getting thrown. So all right, so we'll move on to our number 4. Ace, we'll start with you on number 4. What you got?
Well, it's actually funny because I won't even go into this. I had Eddie Gordo as my number 4 pick because he's OP as fuck. And TBH made a point saying that it's more of a get good, but the fact that you were able to button mash and know how to use them. If you knew how to play Tekken and then had Eddie, it's a cheat. Because literally, he's already OP as it is with his moveset and everything along the lines. Plus, the how to play the game itself. So putting him into the hands of somebody that actually knew how to play the game is OP as hell. And like Flock said, like you're gonna want to fight somebody because it gets annoying getting your ass whooped by him. And even if you know how to stop him and everything, but the person's so good using him, you can't stop him. What makes him an OP character? That's all. So y'all can go.
I beat Eddie's ass with Steve Fox, boy, straight hand.
I mean, my guy was Kazuya on that game and Paul Phoenix. So, but
Steve Fox and martial law was my
Martial
dude.
law, yeah.
that dude, he was a problem. All right, Black, what's your number 4?
All right. My number 4, he falls under the lines of more so annoying as well, but I guess like if you didn't know how to play him, he still was annoying. But like it's Deidara from the Naruto series, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series.
Oh yeah.
All you had to do was press square or just throw, and like he would spam a bunch of explosions at you. And you could do this the entire game, and it's like an infinite cycle of like small bird explosions coming at you, then 2 giant big ass.
But you're not explaining. It wasn't just that. It was the fact that this dude he could create anything out of clay, and it would be an explosion. But then also what made him OP is he's the only character in the game that flies. So then he would literally just bomb every. Yeah, I hated him. So I give you that one too.
It's like an infinite spam of just like explosions coming at you from the ground and the sky. So he's a horrible character.
Okay, TVH.
Number 4, I went with Yoda from Soul Calibur 4. I'm a big Soul Calibur fan.
A good one.
And anybody who's played Soul Calibur hardcore knows that was one of the worst additions. Additional, because every game they do like a bonus character, like guest appearance, and Yoda was a straight bitch in the 4th game because he was so short that nobody could hit him.
Oh, let's
So
be
if you
clear.
play
Hold on,
on-
let's be clear that we talking about the Xbox 360 version because a lot of people
Yeah.
say, I did on PS3 and I didn't have. So we talking about the Xbox 360 version because every version.
I didn't think you had to say that.
I mean,
No, you have to.
Bruh.
You did. You fam. You
Bruh.
have
Yeah, because
to.
the PlayStation came with Darth Vader, right?
Bruh,
Yeah,
you have not seen
exactly.
the comment section in some of these videos, then, man. Trust me.
Yeah, you.
Okay, so
yeah,
on the Xbox version there was Yoda, and Yoda was OP because he was shorter than everybody else, so you could not hit him.
Mhm.
Only specific moves could hit him, and it was like all your down moves. So it was incredibly hard to play him. It was one of those things that was like, what were you thinking when you put him in the game? Like he was a pain in the ass.
Okay. Siggy.
Number 4, I have Jerry Rice, Tecmo Bowl. I know the popular pick is Bo Jackson, but I was telling Ace earlier about this guy. You could just throw to him and he could have everybody in the other team on him, and he'll catch it every single time.
The regular Tecmo Bowl or Tecmo Super
Yes.
Bowl?
Regular Tecmo Bowl. Regular Tecmo Bowl. Right, that was Montana and Rice, right? Super Tecmo Bowl was one.
Yeah.
Right. So
No,
I mean-
the regular Tecmo Bowl was Bo Jackson too.
oh yeah, it was also there.
Yeah,
But I
both
just don't-
Tecmo Bowl
yeah,
was, but
Jerry
I'll
Rice.
talk about it later.
Regular Tecmo Bowl, Jerry Rice, OP. I mean, I couldn't.
Well,
accept those
Well, here's
players.
the thing with Jerry Rice though. Like, I definitely agree with that because he was definitely a beast then. But at the same time, you still got to get it into his hands. That's the one thing that I would say. Like
And
once,
and you don't think Montana was OP?
yeah,
He was catching everything.
You gotta realize who his quarterback was, fam. So
Yeah.
he's gonna get
yeah,
it.
but I know I'm saying that he's gonna get it to him. But the fact is, like, you have to add more factors into how he's gonna get the ball. It's like he's not starting off with the ball, but he's definitely OP. So I can understand where you're coming from. I'll make more of a point later on. You'll see.
I think what he's saying, he's like, it doesn't matter what route you run, he's gonna get the ball when you throw it.
Exactly.
What's the name? And then you gotta keep in mind, this is Jerry Rice before he was wearing football chicken helmets for Popeyes.
I knew it was coming, yo.
Fuck him, bro. Fuck Jerry
Yeah,
Rice.
he turned into such a coon.
We
bruh.
traded him.
Yeah, black delegation want to make a trade, right?
Wasn't a
feel you.
Popeyes helmet? Oh my god!
All right, my number 4, man, is what TBH used as number 5, and it was Cable. I mean, in a nutshell, man, you just get zoned out so bad. Like if you were a novice at that game and couldn't really figure that stuff out, it was the ultimate like deal breaker, man. Like playing that game, like you didn't want to play it no more after dealing with him, and everybody played with him too. So
He was always in a right squad.
So that's all I got for that, man. So we can keep moving because TBH pretty much nailed it talking about that. We'll move on to our number 3. We'll start with TBH for your number 3. What you got?
Number 3, Mike Tyson, Punch Out. I mean,
Oh my god!
what else is there to say? The nigga knocked you out in one hit. Like that was the quickest way to get aggravated as a child. So that was one of my earliest experiences of fuck this shit as a kid. So yeah, Mike Tyson is one of the most OP characters in video game history. People will never know.
All right, Black.
I want to say, I had someone else, but I thought about it. I gotta say Superman from Injustice. Superman's just like a bitch ass character to begin with, like him as a comic book character, but like his ult could like break through anyone else's ult and grab you and throw you in a fucking space, and like he has so many spam attacks. I just think.
Yeah, then his lasers like cross the whole map.
Yeah,
too.
it does. Both.
Yeah, he was a bitch character.
He could jump into the sky and then shoot lasers, and it'll like follow you, like it'll go diagonal across the map. And then he had lasers that go like just straight across from his eyes. So yeah, Superman was a bitch ass character in Injustice.
All right. Ace.
My number 3 pick is gonna be Michael Vick from Madden 04. Now this is the one he was on with the Atlanta Falcons.
I had him on honorable mentions.
And this is when Madden isn't where it was today. Like the AI still wasn't really doing very well when it came to defensive coverage. So Michael Vick, if you guys didn't get to play it, he would be able to go all the way back in behind the end zone, basically, and run all the way back easily every time. As long as he was able to get past the defensive ends and do the coverage, he was able to do so. And as long as you were able to put out at least one receiver on the outside to be able to block the corner, it was a touchdown, guaranteed every time. And I always thought that he was very broken. Like there was a rule in my house that you couldn't play with the Atlanta Falcons during those games, just because it was so broken. The fact that man Michael Vick can literally do everything. He's the fastest character in the game. I can agree to that. But to the fact of where he was outbeating corners that had the angle on him, that's ridiculous, fam. Like that man could not be stopped. And if you guys don't believe me, Google search it and look at videos. It's ridiculous how this man was able to do that. But yeah, that would be my number 3 choice.
Siggy.
Number 3, I have Odd Job, GoldenEye. See, I'm sticking with the old school theme here. And speaking of Yoda, you talked about how his size and all that is what made him OP. This is the exact same reason why. This
Oh
is the
yeah,
original.
the split screen multiplayer, right?
Exactly.
He was the short one. I remember that.
Yup. He was a small guy. The hit detection was horrible. I mean, you pretty much have to knife him or hit him in the head.
To be able to kill him.
Yeah, the guy was just. If you were playing with a bunch of your friends and anybody had odd job, you hated that person. You told them to get out of here, take your 64 controller, and get the fuck out of here.
Get him the fuck out of here.
Take your shit out of here. But yeah, he was the one that started the friendship ruining back in the days.
Oh man. And who left? Me.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Bo Jackson from Tecmo Bowl, the original Tecmo Bowl. I mean, if you played it, then you understand. If you haven't, YouTube it and you'll see. I mean, they just made like a commercial about that shit too. Didn't he? When he was driving a car or something, he was trucking everybody and riding.
And I think the truck was slower than what he was.
Yeah, I mean, the dude was fast and he was powerful. He was the fastest. He was probably the fastest player in the game and the most powerful player in the game. And with him, you could run. When I say like what Ace is explaining, like how with Mike Vick, with Bo Jackson is on like some next level shit, because you can go all the way to the opposing end zone. Everybody that chased you, they chased you in like a straight line. They were all like grouped together. Nobody veered off and tried to catch you. Everybody tried to chase you. So you can like run around and literally run the clock out and all types of stuff and still like, and even run through people with him. So he was the ultimate. He was like the ultimate cheat, like running cheat code in video games. So that's all I got for that one. We'll move on to number 2. Siggy, started off with your number 2.
Player 99, NBA Live 96.
Wait, that's Jordan, right?
That's Jordan.
That is my
That's Jordan.
I remember that shit.
If anybody that doesn't know, if anybody ever tells you Player 99, that is the ghost. Yeah, he was the original unlock character.
You had to go to create player. You had to go to create player and then type his name in, and then like all his information stuff would come up, and then you'd be able to play with the real Michael Jordan. But he was player number 99.
Oh my God! If you had the Bulls, if anybody picked the Bulls, player 99 was Jordan, and he was a beast in that game. He jumped shots from. I mean, you talk about Steph Curry making his threes. That's what it was. Player 99 was doing it before Curry was doing it in real life.
No doubt.
55-yard three-pointers.
That was an honorable mention for me.
Black, what you got?
This was a hard choice for me, but after reflecting on my recent struggles and all my pain and heartache, I gotta say GREYSTONE from Paragon. Now y'all know me, I love Paragon, but this nigga GREYSTONE, I'm glad you asked. This nigga GREYSTONE at level 5.
He's so flustered he can't even get it out.
At level 5, like every nigga that plays GREYSTONE plays him completely differently. Like the first 4 levels, they'll play a little defensively and like reclusive, but nigga, level 5 they different nigga, bro. They be aggressive, they be going at you. And let me tell you why at level 5, everyone plays differently. Because level 5, he gets his ult, which is, let me list the following. At level 5, he gets a second life that activates automatically. So like he dies with his first life, then he comes back again with a fair amount of health and mana. And GREYSTONE's a bitch ass nigga with that. Next, while he's doing his ult, it actually slows people within a certain radius of him, and the closer you are, the more slowed you are. And then when he comes back from the heavens after dying, he does damage to anyone stuck in that radius. So let me break this down for you. He slows people with his ult, he does damage to them, and he comes back with health and mana. Like, he's just a bitch ass character, bro. I fucking hate GREYSTONE. And then like, not only that, it's like already hard to kill this nigga because he's like the only real tank, and he does damage to niggas. Like, he's just a bitch ass nigga. I mean, fuck GREYSTONE, fuck Paragon. They really need to fix this nigga. They really, really, really need to bring some type of balance to this game, but that's another
One of the reasons I quit playing.
Damn.
Yeah,
That's how you really feel.
That shit was frustrating, fam. That shit was definitely frustrating.
It's one of those things. It's like, what were you thinking when you decided to give a character 2 lives? Like,
Yeah, man. See, that's why I had to stop playing again. You know.
couldn't push mid no more, baby. Couldn't push mid.
What's that meme? You won't get mad if you don't play that game. That's me.
That makes sense.
But I'm telling you, man, that's the only. I told you, man. You know how to avoid all that though, right? GREYSTONE, man, push mid, baby. That's what I always do when in doubt. I never really had a problem with GREYSTONE though.
All right.
too busy pushing mid. All right, Ace, what's your number 2, man?
My number 2 is from Super Smash Brothers. Is Meta Knight. I chose him as an OP character just for the fact is this character literally could do anything he wanted to. His up B attack, his right B attack, left B attack. Always got him back on the map. But the thing is, too, his recovery was always great. But the fact is, he can fly. Him, Jigglypuff, and I believe Kirby. The way they could be able to get back onto the map is ridiculous. And for some reason, they're a little bit lighter than a lot of the other characters. Like, I could just tell for some reason, it seemed like they could take more damage than anything when these characters themselves. So they're very evasive and everything. It was very, like, frustrating. But I use Meta Knight a lot. I like Meta Knight, but I also know that he is OP. I'm just going to keep it real. He is definitely OP. And then one of his attacks with his sword, he could consistently do it. Unless you can get out of it, you can combo it with literally everything of his moveset. So I always felt like he was an OP character.
Which Smash Brothers are you talking about again?
That's Brawl.
Brawl, right?
Brawl, yeah.
All right. Another thing, I don't think you mentioned it, but that character is so like unbalanced that he is banned from like tournament play. Smash Brothers tournaments play.
Yep.
So he's banned from
Yes,
that.
he
So
is.
that gives you a general idea how like
broken he can be.
Unbalanced. And I know I've seen him do like that bounce on your head attack, and he just constantly does it until he gets you off the ramp or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've noticed that. I'm not much of a Smash player, man. Never really have been, but I do know who you talking about and what that character could do. All right, TBH, what you got for your number 2?
Number 2, the original M. Bison from Street Fighter 2.
Ooh.
I mean, the game was hard enough already with the shitty ass frame rate, but as soon as you got to if you were good enough to get the Bison, I mean, 2 words, Psycho Crusher. It's over once he does that. He does that Psycho Crusher. That
don't
shit.
forget about him jumping on your head and coming down.
Oh yeah, jumping on your head.
Yeah.
But that Psycho Crusher, it went across the whole map. So then it was like it would just destroy your health bar. It was like it was infuriating because it was hard to get there.
And then those little flash kicks that he does, whatever that.
Oh yeah, he'll double up on those.
Shit.
On that flip kick.
Yeah.
The flip front.
Because he could do it twice. He could do it twice, and that was actually impossible to do it for you to be able to do it because it was a charge move. You couldn't do it, but the computer could do it.
Yeah, like nowadays he's still a decent character, like a good character, but like back then he was just a straight menace.
Oh yeah. No.
Him and Sagat. Sagat's the same way, man. They both you jump. He knew when to do this hyper uppercut. I mean, anything you do with Sagat was just as hard.
Absolutely. That's why he's my main. My number 2 is Mike Vick from Madden 2004. Ace kind of went into it. One thing he didn't really touch on is the reason why he was able to do all this stuff. I did think he did mention about him having the speed, but he could also beat you with his arm. He had like a 99 throwing power, so he could rifle the damn ball, and like he could like you pretty much had to spy him every play, and that didn't even really help because he would still like just blow past the linebacker just spying him. And then he could like kind of just run all over the place and get away if you knew what you were doing. Because if you didn't know what you were doing, you were gonna get sacked regardless of how fast he was. But if you had an open guy, he was gonna launch that ball down the field. So Mike Vick was definitely the ultimate cheat code in a video game, especially on the sports aspect. So anybody before we get to number 1, anybody got any honorable mentions if you want to mention them before you
I got a whole
number 1?
list.
I got some. I got some. Go ahead,
So
TBH.
we'll start off with TBH. You can go into your number 1 and your honorable mentions or whatever.
Honorable mentions. All right, Osmosis from NBA Street 2. He could shoot, dunk. He could and he could block. I used to love Osmosis. Lubu from Dynasty Warriors. I mean, everybody was OP in Dynasty Warriors, but Lubu was a man amongst men. He was a man amongst men. Star Killer from Star Wars Force Unleashed. Michael Vick from Madden 04. Bayonetta. Azura's Wrath. Let's see, Raiden from Metal Gear Revengeance. I don't know if y'all ever played General Ram on insane difficulty in Gears of War.
Oh my god!
Yeah. He was insane. I thought you were a bitch if you played Muhammad Ali in Fight Night Online, because he could get up like 1,000 times, no matter how much you beat his ass. Kratos, and then Ivy from Soul Calibur. She had that damn whip that could hit you from a distance.
That was my main on there.
And you know, if you got your little horny little retarded friend, you pick her booty be out and that distract them. So there you go.
Shout out to the horny toes. All right. What's your number one there?
Oh, my number one, I picked Dark Link from the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time. I just it's like when people be like, and they think of like an OP character or a hard boss fight, that's instantly what comes to mind to me. That's why I said before we did this conversation, I was like, I can only think of one off the top of my head. I just remember that he damn near ruined my childhood. I mean, if I go back and play it now, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be as hard. But if you never played Ocarina of Time in the Water Temple, before you got to the final boss, a shadow version of yourself appeared, Link, and you had to fight a mirror copy of yourself, and he would copy whatever move you did. So you had to perfectly time your moves slightly faster than him, because if you didn't, your sword would always just clash with his. So you were literally fighting yourself. And I remember I put that game down for like a good month because I was pulling my hair out. I couldn't figure out how to beat him. Like,
you gotta admit, that was like some of the dopest shit in the games, though. Like,
yeah, I gotta give it to Nintendo. Like, that was one of the, that's still, like I said, it still affects me to this day. That was one of the craziest boss fights I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and that was a mini boss fight.
Right. So it wasn't even the boss, but that shit was frustrating. I know. All right, Black.
Honorable mentions. I guess for my second one, I was gonna say Morgus from Paragon again, but I don't really want to talk about any honorable mentions. I want to talk about my number one.
Okay,
go for it.
My number one is
Don't tell me.
They're in There are multiple video games, but it's Barbie from Barbie's Horse Adventure Mystery Ride, as well as Barbie from Dreamhouse.
This nigga's a troll, man.
This guy's
I just felt like Barbie was all over the place. Like no one really could like top her in her world at anything. Just
give us your real number one.
Yeah.
All right, so our real number one, I gotta say is because Sephiroth. Because actually, there's two games I think about that I like really hated Sephiroth. Was in Final Fantasy VII as well as in Kingdom Hearts. He's just like, for me, like from my childhood, he's the epitome of like evil, and like he's definitely like just up there. It's like I remember like playing Final Fantasy. He was the person like I had to like ask my big brother to help me try and fight this nigga. So that's it, Sephiroth.
Yeah, he was a bitch.
Oh yeah. Siggy Guns.
Honorable mention: the blue shell from Mario Kart. No matter how far ahead you are, he would always knock you out. So
that was the original Everybody Gets to Win award.
Yep, exactly.
Bo Jackson, we talked about him. Michael Vick, those are my honorable mentions. My number one, TBH mentioned him as like 3 or 4, whatever it was. But Mike Tyson, that was my first, ruined childhood, experience for sure. Not only was he just beating you after, the flash punches, but then even when you got past that, finally, you tell yourself, okay, I got past the hard part after a minute. Let's do this. You don't realize that you still got to fight him for another 2 rounds. And you get so frustrated whenever you do lose him again and you don't get to the card and beat him on the cards, the judge's decision, and you just wasted all that time and they have to go back to the flash punches. It was just a nightmare. But then to this day though, no game has ever been more satisfying to beat than beating Mike Tyson without a cheat. Because when you do it, when you finally, after all this years, it took me years to beat him without a cheat. Whenever you finally beat him, you tell yourself, I'm never going to play it again. And then you don't play it again.
Yep. Once you finally beat him, you're done with it.
Yes. I'll play him and cheat now, but at that time I will never play it again. But it was definitely great to finally do it. If you ever did it without beating him or without a cheat code. But man, nightmares for sure. Those flash punches. Hated him.
I still remember that code to get right to him though. That shit is embedded in my brain.
Was it 737? Hold on.
007 737. Was it 5983 or 5963 or some shit like that?
5965, right? Oh no, wait.
Damn it. It's 5963. I think that was the code to get to him. I mean, I just remember, man, it took me about 200 times to actually beat him.
That's crazy. I mean, that's the epitome of a game.
Y'all
We
showing y'all age.
back then.
Yeah,
Y'all showing y'all age. The compensation gonna be like, y'all had to remember cheat codes.
right. That's the thing, though. Then you had to.
Before the internet, boy.
Shit, some
L1,
games,
R2, L1, L2.
some
Hey, you
games
know what,
had
actually-
like 30 or 40 numbers and stuff that you had to remember and letters. and
Actually,
shit.
all right.
That's-
You know what, Flock? We forgot to tell him why we had to remember that cheat code though, because that's an honorable mention right there. Sandman was hard as hell to beat, and Macho Man.
Yeah, Super
them
Macho
two.
Man. Yeah.
Them two were OP.
Yeah,
also.
the fights leading up to Tyson was hard enough, and then when you got to him, it was just like, what the fuck. All right, Ace, what's your number one, man? Honorable mentions.
I just had a couple of them: Dark Link, Kratos, Bayonetta, Reggie Bush in Madden 07 when he was actually like legit when he first came out. But honestly, we've already talked about it so much. My number one was actually Bo Jackson, fam. Like that was one of those, and it was memorable just because like I used to play that game all the time. And I was just like, why is this man so fast? Like it's just something that it didn't add up for me. Then when I got older and everything like that, I always was wondering. I looked it up and I just saw why everybody talked about it, because he literally could do anything he wanted to do. And it was funny just watching it and just watching all the little 8-bit characters run around and chase you and everything like that, because they were running in straight lines and just zoom right past them, do all these moveset. Like the man couldn't be stopped. So that was my number one choice.
Wait a minute, you said you were playing that game when you were a kid?
Yeah, it was.
Wait a minute, when were you born? That game came out in like '87.
Exactly, but my father's had that. He introduced it to me.
Yeah, same thing. How
Tecmo
I played
Yeah,
punching
no,
out.
I'm
Punch
saying
out.
Tecmo Bowl came out in '89, so yeah.
Yep.
that shit
I was born in '90, but my dad introduced me to that stuff like
Was
that.
Bo Jackson the one that was selling the refrigerators?
No, that's the fridge. Come on.
The fridge. Okay.
That's refrigerator Perry. Used to play for the Bears.
Okay.
That was that's just old. That's the last time the Bears won a Super Bowl. Jeez.
People in the comment section be like, "What the hell is Tecmo Bowl?"
I mean, everybody knows. Well, just about
Nah,
everybody knows
I
about
know,
Tecmo Bowl.
Nah.
I think people at least heard of it.
Yeah, you at least heard of it.
Well, I'm pretty sure
Right.
the new commercials everybody knows now with those, the ones you're talking about, the Kia. Was it Kia commercials? Is that what?
Well, I forgot what car it was. I just remember seeing Bo Jackson. I was like, yeah, it's just like playing with Bo Jackson, trucking everybody and getting past and going around. All right, my honorable mentions: Pablo Sanchez. I mean, the dude could speak a lick of English, but he could play ball. That's the damn show. He was the best out there. Lou Boo, I had him on that too. I didn't think nobody was gonna pick him for Dynasty Warriors. And then I also had, fuck you, Isaac Frost, Fight Night champion, Isaac Frost, man. That last dude you fight on there.
Oh, the white dude.
Yeah, he was a motherfucker to beat. And even if you picked him, after you beat him, you was able to play, use him, to play with him. If you played him, boy, he was a pro because he had that reach and he had the power. So my number one, man, Siggy had actually used him already. It's Odd Job from 007 GoldenEye. That motherfucker, man. You couldn't hit him. Like, it's kind of like how Halo is, how you do with 007. You don't kind of aim down sight. It's kind of like you hit fire and everything. So with him, it was harder to do because it was like at a certain level that you had to shoot. With him, you had to like stop and try to aim and hit him, and when you try to aim, your whole body movement had to stop, and you had to use the little yellow buttons on the N64 controller to kind of like aim. So it was like you use him, man. We was throwing your ass out the house like Uncle Phil did Jazz. I'm straight up. Like, that was the rule. Like when you tossing you out of here if you pick Odd Job, yo, or don't let me catch you in the facility spawning because I'm gonna rocket launch your ass before you jump down that chute. Real shit. So yeah, that Odd Job was definitely number one for me, man.
Man, those bring back some good memories, though, man.
He
That
was one
shit.
of them fuck you put character. He was definitely a fuck you character. Fuck this game, shit. But yeah, so that wraps it up, y'all, man. It was pretty good. Everybody had their own different ones. I mean, it was a couple that was similar. I mean, for the most part, everybody that played certain games, you could definitely agree with us. Put in the comment section, man, what y'all's most frustrating character to play against was. Any last words, TBH?
Get money.
All right, Siggy.
Repeat step one, get money.
Okay. Black.
I really feel like people don't really they're really underestimating the power of Barbie. So it's like just keep in mind she couldn't be beat. She couldn't
You know they're
do
gonna be
that.
like, yo, this dude plays with Barbies. They're gonna take you seriously.
Yeah, they definitely are.
That is what it is.
Okay. Ace.
Nah, I'm good, fam. Yeah, appreciate y'all watching and listening.
Alright, in close, I just want to say, man, appreciate everybody watching video. Y'all know what to do, like the video, all that good old stuff, share it. If you're new, subscribe for more. We'll have another one for y'all. I can't tell y'all what the topic will be. I'm gonna wait and see what y'all putting in the suggestion. If it's something good that y'all have, I'll use that. If not, I'll come up with something good on my own. On that note, we out of here again, y'all. Peace.